If you've spent any time watching my content, uh, you may know that, especially when I travel, it can take me quite a while to finally get around to editing the video, uh, titling it, doing this part, and then getting it out for people to see. Sometimes I'm better at it, sometimes I'm worse. In this particular case, I was pretty bad. Back in March, at the end of March, my wife and I joined two very good friends of mine, Eric and John Johnson, who I have known for many, many years. And we took a cruise. Now, if you also know me, you know that I cruise on Disney. I've done 10 cruises on Disney Cruise Lines on most of their ships. But for this one, we decided to try something different. We decided to go on MSC, Mediterranean Shipping Company, who are fairly new to the cruise line industry compared to some of the other major carriers. And I've heard mixed things. My brother had been on an MSC cruise, so he had some information about how it was. And Eric and John, who I was going with, I believe this was their third cruise. And so they were excited. But one of the things that everybody seems to say is an absolute must with MSC is their Yacht Club. That is their first class concierge level service. Let's go over it. I'm going to do some commentary. Some of the points I'm just going to let the audio play, but just want to give a quick breakdown, and to Eric especially, who has given me a hard time about how long this has taken. I apologize. And if you're coming to this for the first time and you've never seen my videos before, my name is Chris. I travel quite often. I like to document the trips that I go on, mostly for me to watch later. But if you enjoy this, great. Subscribe to the channel, follow me wherever you found me, and I'm going to try to do more and more of this, especially during the summer when I travel a little bit more. So once again, this is MSC. We traveled on the MSC World America. It is the third largest ship in the world right now. And we sailed out of Miami with stops in Roatan, Honduras, Costa Maya, Mexico, and then Cozumel. And then we went to went to MSC's private island, which you'll see near the end. So with no further ado, let's go through all this information. So this is the cruise terminal in Miami. We had to sign in. They checked our bags actually very early on, and we had them very quickly. But once you check in, when you are with Yacht Club, they take you in to this Yacht Club lounge right there in the cruise port terminal, and free booze. We had mimosas at 9 a.m. It was absolutely crazy, but very, very fast we were shuttled onto the ship. Now, funny thing here, right here, this was our butler. I was supposed to stop and walk with her, but we just zoomed right by her. She just let us go, and then we followed Eric and John. Their butler was in front of us, and he showed us through the first part of the ship. Long gangway getting on here. Now, I did kind of miss it. It didn't have the big grandeur that you get with a Disney cruise when you first walk out and they announce your family name and everybody claps for you. This was much more low-key, but he brought us right to the actual Yacht Club lounge, which was up on deck 10, if memory serves. It's been a while since we were on this ship. But you can see that this is the Yacht Club areas that I'm showing you here in the first part of this video. They were absolutely beautiful. This was their dining area up on the top deck. I think this was deck 12. Copious amounts of alcohol. When you are concierge with Disney, you get drinks free from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. On MSC, 24 hours a day, free booze, whenever you want it. We did this high tea tasting on one of the days of the cruise that was served right in the Yacht Club. It was absolutely amazing. The service was phenomenal. Lots of little snacks. In the Yacht Club lounge, piano music all the time. There was constantly music going on. And we loved sitting out here at night and enjoying a drink here at the Yacht Club. Our room. Not a spectacular room, a fairly simple room. Definitely larger than Disney's normal size rooms. A little bit more compact depth-wise, but wider, much easier to walk through, that's for sure. But we had a nice balcony, very private balcony. It was very difficult to see the people that were next to you. And we had butler service, so we had certain booze. Oh, this was the World Promenade. So this was it's an outdoor area. That very far portion you see right there is actually open air. That's the back of the ship. And that curlicue thing is a slide that goes down, and we do ride that later. Casino, another thing you don't see on Disney ships. And we were waiting in line for a comedy show that turned out to be quite funny. And there's a video of that later on as well.
If you're ready, give me a hell yeah! Hell yeah! Welcome to the stage, your superstars, Samantha and Emma!
Let's go to rehab. I say what?
No, no, no!
That's right. There things happen. All right, I need you to give us your best dancing. I ain't got 7 days. Work the camera, baby. 18 clips. Take it off. And if Eric thinks I'm fine. Who are you with there?
Husband.
That's your husband. Who thinks we should get him? What's your husband's name?
John.
John.
Uh-oh.
Who thinks we should get John up here? All right, here we go. Another option. He wants to sit right there. So, Eric's going to give John a lap dance. Mason, why do you think you're here? This is going to be hot, everybody. I said, I got no idea. That's not that song. I'm gonna lose my baby. And I said,
No, no, no!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Sally can wait. She knows it's too late. She's walking all night.
Charades, we look at the soul slides.
Slides away.
But don't look.
Don't look back in anger. I heard you say.
We gotta do Don't Look Back in Anger again, because that choreography was amazing. But don't look back in
So, Roatan. This port was beautiful. Reminded me a lot of St. Martin at the very initial port part, but the people here were super friendly. Music as soon as we jumped off the ship. Our actual butler took us off the ship on this one. She was lovely, and you know, it was like most ports, a little bit of shopping, but you can see here the scale of the ship. It is absolutely enormous. Definitely the largest cruise line or cruise ship that I've ever been on. But we had a good time shopping here. It was a fun little port. We didn't venture outside of the actual port itself. We stayed right here. We were definitely feeling the effects of the alcohol from the night before. But we did get a runner. It's always nice when you see a runner when it's time for the ship to leave and they're coming in last minute. This I've never seen before either. The local folks came out and played music for us and put that big flag up as we were sailing away. First port already done at this point in time. Next day though, we hit Costa Maya. Once again, our butler brought us off the ship and she walked us all the way up to our excursion. And we had a bus trip to some Mayan ruins. This was actually right outside the port, a little example of what was to come. But this is Chichoban, archaeological dig site for Mayan ruins.
The archaeological site is really big, really big. But I'm sorry, I cannot show you everything. The reason is because the pandemic, you remember, the COVID, strike so much this beautiful project. And amigos, after that, we gotta close the park for a year and a half, and this makes the excavations, investigations, and laboratories get really delayed.
So we had a little bit of a walk. This was a huge property.
Archaeological site been discovered in the year 1972. Amigos, this, what you see here, is a platform of a house.
Yeah, this, and then we hit the first pyramid. And I thought this was incredible. However, come to find out, this is one of the smaller ones. And they let you climb right up on there. I know in a lot of places they don't do that. This was a sacrificial altar right there, that little circle. And then we got the chance to climb these steps. You want to talk about a workout. Because these are not normal size steps. And it was like a big step up to get to each one of these. But it got totally paid off as you crested the hill and saw an enormous pyramid. And shooting with a 360 camera here doesn't exactly give you a sense of the scale of this, but I can assure you it was enormous. So we took a walk all the way around it, got some shots of the whole thing. And you can see in scale to the people and the sky and the trees that are around it, just how big that is. And then the secondary, little tinier temple right next to it. Really was a fantastic excursion. And one of my bucket list things. I've always wanted to see some of these Mayan ruins, so I was very happy to get a chance to.
I'm going to go this way.
Now, the Costa Maya port is and was and will be for a long time the most amazing port I've ever been in. Tons of shopping, several restaurants, a lazy river, pools, music playing everywhere. You can get a tattoo here, for crying out loud. This is just inside the cruise port. This is not out in town. It was a fantastic time. We met up with some friends that were on that other cruise ship to the left there. Our friends Melissa and Nick from Florida. They just happened to be in the same port on the same day. Now this was amazing. This is their speakeasy. So you snuck in through the phone booth there and then entered the show. And it never stopped.
Okay, so welcome everyone to Old Jack Speakeasy. Are you ready to have some gas inside?
Yeah! Perfect.
I said love is more than just a game for two.
This was one of the coolest drinks I've ever had in my entire life, and it absolutely destroyed us. It was pretty much straight gin right there. Whew, one of the coolest shows I've ever been to. The speakeasy inside of the MSC World America. Next day was Cozumel. You may have noticed no Jessica on this trip. She decided to take some time to herself in the room that morning and relax. And much to my chagrin, I am not a fan of the Cozumel port. It was a step above, maybe a small step above Nassau in the Bahamas. It didn't do anything for me. But here's some of the ship for you. You want to talk about a lot of people. So between crew and guests on this ship, somewhere around 10,000 people. They had 3 water slides. The slide that I showed you earlier with the circular action. But this was a lot of fun. We, Eric and I and John, we went down and did a few of the water slides. And as you can see, it is quite trippy with a 360 camera. This was an absolute blast. As you can tell from my whooping and hollering. Now, another thing that's a clear step up from what Disney offers with their waters. They have a water coaster on most of their ships. But here is the shark slide. This goes down nearly 15 stories. And you are flying. That is until the very end, in which you have to scoot yourself out of it. Otherwise, you're just kind of stuck there. Which I guess is better than the alternative of being shot out like a bullet and going off the back of the ship. There you can see me scooching away, trying to get out. As they're explaining the scooching action, and there's Eric. They had a pizza bar that was to die for.
Okay, this is legit. Yeah, the pizza's legit, dude. This actually tastes like Sbarro before Sbarro got shitty.
True story. Fine dining experience right here. So this was the Brasserie. This was an overflow restaurant for a yacht club. And you can see the views both inside the ship and outside the ship. I got Wagyu cooked at my table side by this fantastic server. And the lobster dish that Jessica got was mind-blowing. You can see it right there. I'll give you a little zoom in on it. It was incredible. Great food. And the food everywhere on this ship was phenomenal. And here we are, setting off from our last cruise port, heading to MSC's private island. It was a beautiful night. And here we are. So, MSC's private island, they do have a partnership with Lego, so it was kind of Lego themed. They played some really obnoxious music that I'm not going to harass you with right here. But this was almost a completely man-made island. They started from a blank slate and built everything up, and they're still in the process of actually adding more land. This is a man-made lagoon that they built, so to allow them to have more beaches. We did get a private dining out here as part of Yacht Club. There was a buffet for regular guests, but Yacht Club had that private dinner, and you can see quite phenomenal views of the ship from everywhere on the island. It really was beautiful, beautiful weather that day. I did get out and do just a little bit of swimming here. But that shot right there is my profile pic now on Facebook. I love Caribbean waters. There is nothing in the world like Caribbean waters. Now, the shops were a little bit of a letdown. That is one thing I think Disney does a lot better on their private islands. Their shopping is really nice. MSC had very little, but they did end the night with the lighthouse show here, which is quite spectacular. I'm just going to show you a few seconds of it here. Great trip. Great cruise line. I would do it. Well, we are going to do it again. They have a new ship coming called the World Atlantic. And John and Eric, Jessica and I decided to book it. That is going to be in January of 2028. So we got a little bit of time before we get a chance to go out there again. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry, it's not a whole lot of content. When I'm on these cruises and I'm doing quite a bit of, enjoying myself, I tend to shoot quite a bit less. I hope you enjoyed watching. Again, subscribe if you don't. Like the video if you enjoyed it. And I will see you again with the next one.